Let's be real, life throws curveballs at all of us. It's just part of the deal. But what really separates people isn't whether they get knocked down, it's how they get back up. That's what we're digging into today, resilience. And trust me, this isn't some fluffy buzzword. It's a real practical skill, and we're going to break down exactly how you can build it for yourself. You've probably wondered this yourself, right? Why is it that some people can face a massive setback and come back even stronger, while for others, that same setback is totally derailing? I mean, think about the world of entrepreneurs. So many of the greats have these wild stories of failing over and over before they finally made it big. It wasn't just luck. They learned, they adapted. So, what's the secret sauce? Well, that secret sauce is resilience. It's basically your ability to adapt and bounce back when things inevitably go wrong. And here's the most important part. This is not some magic trait you're either born with or you're not. It's so much better than that. Think of it like a muscle. The more you work on it, the stronger it gets. And that builds real confidence and mental strength along the way. All right, so how do we actually start building this resilience muscle? Well, it all boils down to three core pillars. And the first one, honestly, is the whole foundation, mastering your mindset. Because before you can act resiliently, you have to think resiliently. Seriously, the way you frame a challenge can change absolutely everything. This really breaks down into two totally different ways of looking at the world. On one hand, you've got the fixed mindset. It sees a problem and says, that's a brick wall. I can't do it. My skills are what they are. But then you have the growth mindset. This is the resilient mindset. It sees that same exact problem and thinks, okay, this is tough, but it's a staircase. It's an opportunity for me to learn and get better. So, how do you actually make that shift when you're in the middle of a tough moment? Here's a super simple but incredibly powerful tool. The next time you hit a wall, just stop, take a breath, and ask yourself this one question. What can I learn from this? All of a sudden, losing a big client isn't just a failure anymore. It becomes this invaluable lesson on how to improve your service for the next 10 clients. See the difference? It's a game changer. And that simple question actually becomes a process you can use every single time. It makes learning from failure, well, systematic. First, you just analyze what happened, objectively, okay? No beating yourself up. Then, you pinpoint what you could do better next time. And finally, and this is key, you actually go and implement those changes. Your mistakes stop being failures and start being data points for your future success. You know, I love this quote. Success is a marathon, not a sprint. It is just so true when it comes to building resilience. This isn't about one epic comeback story. Nope. It's about all the small, consistent steps you take every single day. It's about focusing on making a little bit of progress, not being perfect, and actually celebrating those small wins that keep you going. Having the right mindset, that's the foundation for sure, but a great mindset without action is, well, it's just wishful thinking. And that brings us to our second pillar, taking resilient action. This is where the rubber meets the road. We're moving from just thinking differently to actually building the habits that support us in the real world. A huge part of this comes down to one critical skill, managing your emotions. When something stressful happens, our gut instinct is to just react, right? With anger, frustration, whatever. Resilient action is about creating just a little bit of space between that trigger and your response. It's about choosing to pause, to think, and to respond thoughtfully instead of just reacting on impulse. That right there is emotional flexibility, and it is a total superpower. Of course, it's nearly impossible to respond thoughtfully if you're running on empty. Resilience isn't just a mind game, it's a physical one, too. You have to think of your physical well-being as the fuel for your resilience engine. Getting quality sleep, eating good food, moving your body, maybe some mindfulness, these aren't luxuries. They are the non-negotiables that give you the actual strength to handle life's stress. Okay, so we've got mindset and we've got action, but there is one more piece to this puzzle, and it's one we often forget. Resilience is not a solo sport. The strongest people out there aren't the ones who try to do it all alone. They're the ones who know how to build and lean on their support system. And that is our third pillar. And building this support system has to be intentional. It's about consciously choosing to spend time with people who lift you up, not drag you down. It's about seeking out mentors who've been where you are and can give you some guidance. And maybe the hardest part, It's about having the courage to actually share what you're going through and ask for help. Just think about it. One conversation with the right person after a career setback could change your entire perspective. That is the power of connection. So, let's put it all together. What you have now is a powerful three-part resilience toolkit. First, you master your mindset by reframing challenges as opportunities. Second, you take resilient action by building the physical and emotional habits that keep you strong. And third, you build your support system because nobody can weather a storm all by themselves. These three things, working together, create a foundation that is incredibly tough to shake. So there you have it, our guide to resilience. But look, knowing this stuff is only half the battle. The real transformation starts when you put it into practice. So I'm going to leave you with a question to really think about. What is one small, resilient action you are going to commit to taking this week?